Right, for more insight on the court judgment, we are now joined by political and legal analyst Martin Wren. He speaks to us from Nairobi, Kenya. Very good evening to you, Mr. Wren, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Perhaps let's just start by fleshing out the reasons that the court has given, particularly the issue of unlawfulness on the part of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Can you please explain that for us?
Good evening. Thank you for hosting me. Today, the court ensured that the BBI could not proceed as the main proponent of the BBI were President Uhuru Kenyatta and the former Prime Minister. The court made its finding taking in account that President Uhuru Kenyatta is not allowed by law to start or to promote a popular initiative to change the constitution of Kenya.
Yes. Okay, so I want to start with the bit of on the unlawfulness, which the court found. For instance, it said that what President Kenyatta initiated, the changes were not through a constitutional provision, but rather what was exclusively reserved for citizens and not executive leaders. What does that suggest? That should there have been a referendum or consultative public process?
The whole process was a bit rushed. The whole process took a wrong turn. The problem may have had a good view in changing the constitution of Kenya, but they changed it to a political vehicle. They went further and sidelined some leaders, including the Deputy President of Kenya, and some Kenyans were not happy with this. Yes.
Are you able to explain to us what he did, President Kenyatta, and how he breached the law? And I just want to understand the constitution of Kenya as a stand and what the president really did. Because if the court says that he acted unlawfully, I think it's important for us to understand from a legal standpoint what that meant.
The whole process is amendable. The Constitution of Kenya is amendable. But the president, as the leader of the republic, cannot purport to change. We have seen in other African nations whereby sitting presidents try to amend constitutions to extend their term in office. So the Constitution of Kenya is well documented, and it is enshrined, and it protects all Kenyans. The person who is supposed to start the process of amending the Constitution of Kenya is the common man, who has no interest in governance.
No.
Yes.
So it would have extended the president's powers, I understand, by allowing him to create new positions, including tampering with legislative processes, including that of the judiciary. Is that correct?
Yes, that's true.
All right, let's go through what that would have entailed. Would it mean that there would be new parliamentary constituencies, and would there have been a new role of Prime Minister created, for instance? What else would have happened?
They were supposed to add 70 new constituencies which were not clearly marked out. They were supposed to have the Prime Minister, the Office of the Prime Minister is supposed to have 2 deputy Prime Ministers. Currently, Kenyans are really suffering, and they could not take another bloated government, which was to come in place. Yes.
And we've seen President Kenyatta and his deputy clash publicly, wildly over these proposed constitutional amendments. What has been the effect on this on Kenyans? Have they been divided in terms of loyalties, given the fact that the country is going towards elections in August?
Majority of Kenyans are happy and relieved, as they could have faced a bloated government, meaning taxes could have been raised and the living costs could have gone high. So most of Kenyans are happy.
How would that have happened? Can you just draw a line for us how these amendments would have resulted in the cost of living going up, taxes being increased?
Additional of the Prime Minister's office it automatically comes with a good number of staff, allowances, salaries, exemption.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much for speaking to us. That there is political and legal analyst Martin Wren speaking to us from Nairobi, Kenya, after that court ruling in Kenya barring President Uhuru Kenyatta from introducing those new constitutional amendments. Of course, this was as a result of an appeal after a lower court had actually rejected these moves by the country's president.